Oh my God. How much of this can I actually put on?
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Davi. I'm joined by Abe and Charlie. Welcome back to another Redox reaction. And for our viewers and listeners, we hope you guys are doing well. And for today, we're going to be reacting to finally season 2 of Invincible. This is pre-pandemic, bro.
Bro, that's crazy. That's really ridiculous. And then Naveed just told me about the freaking mid-season finale.
Yes.
And waiting until 2024 to see the second. Yo, if this show wasn't so damn good and didn't have a chokehold on me, I would be pissed. I mean, I am pissed off, but I would have given up. I would have given up and not watched the rest of it.
I mean, they already lied to us, right? Because they were like, oh, there's not going to be any delay now between seasons. Psych, mid-season break.
Yeah, but that's a technicality. They got you on the technicality.
It's a shitty one.
And for our viewers and listeners, we hope you guys are doing well. Just a quick heads up. This episode is also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, specifically the discussion portion of the show. Also, if you're looking for an uncut reaction to this episode, hit the link in the description. You'll find a link to our Patreon. Thank you so much to our Patreon subscribers and also our YouTube subscribers. You guys mean a lot to us, and thank you so much for the support. We love you guys. Abe and Charlie, how you doing? You ready?
I've waited 4 damn years for this, bro.
So yeah, I mean, you guys watched this before the pandemic. I watched it during, I believe. And like we said in Adam Eve, I held off watching the final episode of season 1 because I knew about the huge gap between seasons. I watched it today during my lunch break.
Wow, you just finished.
Oh, okay, so you're fresh.
I'm fresh, yeah. Bro, that episode was insane.
Bro, this show is
ridiculous. This show's so good.
Omni-Man went through like absolute carnage in that episode.
Yeah.
I've never seen like a cartoon so gory, I guess, an animated thing so gory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way over the top. Way over the top. But
in a good way.
Yeah. In a good way. I mean, it's a comic book animated thing, so that's what I expect.
Yeah, I've heard people say that the show is better than the comics.
Really?
Never read the comics.
I've heard that for The Boys too.
Oh, The Boys, yeah. Actually, people check me on that. I might be confusing with another comic. Let me know if you've seen this comic, which if it's up to scratch or whatever. All I know is that, again, the show is so damn good because there's no way that I'd be able to take a 4-year break. Like this in Game of Thrones is like the only thing that I'm like, all right, give you a pass. But 4 years is insane.
Yeah, they already said that the gap for season 3 is very close. I think they've already done
season 3.
Yeah, they've already done voice recordings for season 3 already.
Bet. So they need to do the animation, which is probably gonna take forever. Bet.
But no, yeah. And he said that the cast for season 3 is already crazy too. So they're already hyping up season 3, and we're just getting season 2.
All right, bet. Let's see what it's got.
All right, let's do it. Charlie, episode 1, season 2 of Invincible. Finally,
we go. Titled A Lesson for Your Next Life.
I am from Viltrum, but it's not the planet I've told you about.
Yeah, that caught me by surprise, like in that episode.
Yeah, it was a great twist.
I do love your mother, but she's more like a pet.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I was like, what?
I won't let you destroy it.
What will you have after 500 years?
That's his fatality on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I saw that.
That scene was wild.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to watch season 1 again because it's been way too long.
Should have done your homework.
I did 4 years ago. It's not my fault the professor was late doing the follow-up.
Oof. Bro, didn't you lose all your teeth last episode?
So arrogant, just like your father.
Jeez, I love the fighting in this show. It's so brutal.
The sound design is really good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bro, I would play an Invincible game like this.
After what Omni-Man did, after what you did.
Oh, was that Omni-Man?
Looked like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. All right, he's back.
This feels like a dream.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was about to say that.
Oh my God. How much of this can I actually put on the
What?
I don't know. Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely a dream.
What?
The immortal lived for thousands of years, trying to make this planet better for all its people. I thought he'd see the truth, like you did.
I think he was trying to lead us away.
So we must be close.
What?
This is like a flashback or alternate universe because they're working together? What?
Yeah, this is definitely a dream.
Oh,
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
The Viltrum Empire now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hungry. No one dies from cancer, and no one ever messes with Earth again. We didn't destroy your cities. You destroyed them by fighting back. Your new Viltrumite rulers are on the way, and it's time to join us in welcoming them. And if you still think you can stop us, don't forget, I'm invincible.
Oh, he actually said it. It's definitely a dream because they always do this in the beginning.
Yeah, and then
it
they go to
cuts
the title. Yeah, we're really like digging into this. If this is a dream, though, like this is a very elongated sequence.
I don't think it is.
Yeah,
A dream?
It's almost
I don't
seeming
think
like
it
it's
is a
not, but-
dream.
Nah, he couldn't have gone evil just like that from where we left off.
Dad beat the absolute pulp out of him. He has CTE now, and now he thinks he's evil.
The last we saw of him, he had just gone home from the hospital.
That's what Rex thought too.
Whoa.
Did you retrieve the null energy?
If this doesn't make Omni-Man have a bad day, nothing will.
Yeah, this feels like we skipped like a million years or something.
Yeah, we're on episode 1. I'm just
No,
making
I
sure.
know.
I'm just making sure.
Hey, Eve. You look good.
Jeez. Completely like cut her hair.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I reacted to.
Has a scar on her face. What the hell is going on?
Oh my God.
All right, what the hell is inside that thing? What is that supposed to be?
Isn't that Robot? I have to go back to the first season, but I remember.
He just slashed Robot in half.
No, I know, but bro, Robot created a robot. I think because he was that.
Oh.
I think if I'm correct, if I'm so off, people are gonna be like, "You're so stupid."
You and your stupid resistance made us kill thousands of innocent people.
What the heck? Are they in a different universe?
No, bro, this is a dream. It's gotta be a nightmare.
I'd rather die.
What? Eve, I would never kill you.
My guess is it might not be his nightmare.
Whoa.
I'm sorry you had to do that, Mark. She didn't leave you a choice.
She's not dead, just paralyzed.
Huh. So that's what you were practicing on those protesters last week.
Oh my God.
Hi. Since you were all part of the resistance, we need to kill you.
You sentenced yourself to death when you joined Club Resistance.
Justice will come for you. For all the friends we've lost to your senseless cruelty, for all the families you've torn apart, you will reap
Let's
what
do
you...
this, Mark.
Yeah, way ahead of you. What the hell was that? A portal or something?
Who cares?
He just sent this man to the nether. Nah, what the hell? Come on. Badunts, right?
Yeah, this is back where we left off, or he's back at the place where his dad beat the shit out of him.
Okay, so he's back to doing good.
Hero stuff.
The city's not destroyed. All right. So he was imagining stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, good. What the fuck is that? An elephant man?
Yeah.
Her Hitler hairdo is making me feel ill.
Radiohead, man.
Yeah, my guess is if he was imagining an alternate universe.
Yeah, like
But what if
pondering.
that was actually an alternate universe
Well, I think
be.
what he was doing is just imagining if he had gone with
his dad?
Right.
dad. Jeez.
That was dope.
Imagine getting like teleported to the hospital. Crazy. The thing is, he's going about it too like so lifeless. It seems like he has no, he doesn't have that same excitement that he had before.
It's like
Yeah.
he's numb to.
yeah,
Yeah, it almost feels like it's all pointless because his dad can literally defeat anyone.
and he's not struggling at all. Like
No.
he's just,
Oh.
Yeah, see, he's getting these flashbacks.
Yeah.
oof.
Imagine what his mother must feel, bro.
No, it's horrible.
You don't have to go back if you're not ready.
Neither do you.
I think we're both dying to get out of this house.
I don't want to eat that garbage.
I mean, yeah, that looks like someone took a shit in a bowl.
Yeah, it's horrible.
You should count yourself lucky there, Pete. Could have torn your arm
Yeah, I
off.
forgot they're twins.
I ain't scared. You get back too, or you're both going hungry.
Did you? Oh, yeah. I shit portals now. Didn't I mention that? See you around, Pete.
See, bro, they're going to different universes.
Bro, there's a multiverse in this shit too?
Where the hell are we?
See?
No way, bro.
No, I think they just got teleported. No.
Holy shit. What happened here?
A tragedy, but don't worry. This isn't your world.
Oh,
Yep. Oh my god.
wow.
Let me guess. You can open portals between dimensions.
I mean, I don't like to brag. I need your help with a very specific problem. Look, I'm a pacifist. I only use my power for good. And working with the two of you is a real ethical and moral stretch for me, but I don't have a choice. There's no one else with your scientific je ne sais quoi.
Oh yeah, they're geniuses.
Isn't this the guy that was yelling at? It was the guy with the backpack that was yelling at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The other one. Yeah. In the first universe we saw. So that universe is real.
Yes.
So there is a multiverse. Hopefully it's simpler.
I'm sorry your dad got exploded. I can't imagine not ever seeing my dad again. And
Bro.
I hear your dad was an okay guy, though. And he was like Jack, right?
Nah, bro, he's a bigger dick than your dad, I bet.
Thanks, Todd. Mark appreciates it.
Saving the day.
See, I'm not an asshole. I'm not an asshole.
Not at all.
Performance art.
Good to see you, kid. What can I do for you?
Going back to school made me realize it's the wrong place for me right now. I need to be out there.
Yeah, he wanted a replacement for Omni-Man.
Hold on.
I'm better, I'm stronger, I'm ready.
No, you're not.
What do you mean?
It's only been a month, Mark.
Oh.
Actually, bro, it's been 4 years, so...
I can save lives.
You did, but you also went through an emotional tumble dryer, and I need to know your head stopped spinning before I let you back in the game, so no.
It's not wrong. Not wrong at all.
I don't need your permission to be a superhero.
You know who else said that to me?
I'm not my dad.
Damn.
I'm not my dad.
Whoa.
This thing's still going on?
It's not going well, sir. The Guardians could use some help. They could really use Invincible.
I'm not making the same mistake I made with Nolan. There's only one way this kid goes back out there, and that's on a very short leash.
That's for stepping on my favorite bar, you piece of shit!
Rex.
I'm the Giant, and I want to be president of America.
And an astronaut.
Bro, he's just trying to live the American dream.
The giant seems to have the mental capacity of an 8-year-old.
8-year-old what?
Oh yeah, because this is a little girl.
And Monster Girl.
Rudy! You okay?
I'm not sure.
I forgot they're like in love.
Recognize this?
That's one of our somatic encoders.
I based it off your design. It reads, copies, and writes human minds. Except,
You can't get it working.
how long to get it working?
Not long, but 2 questions first. What do you need it for? 2, what's in it for us?
There's an infinite number of dimensions, and I was born with the ability to access all of them.
So he's like,
Kang?
yeah. I was going to say Doctor Strange because he's opening portals.
Yeah,
But Kang makes more sense.
Now, what's important is that each dimension has something unique and valuable. Technologies beyond our understanding, new ways of thinking. All our problems, famine, war, climate change, cancer, have been solved somewhere else. And I can be the conduit of that knowledge. To do this, I need deep knowledge of those other dimensions. Good thing we've always been inquisitive.
We've always been.
Meet the family.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
Yeah, he is Kang.
He's literally Kang. He has variants of himself.
They're all alternate versions of me.
All right, what's going on here
This is the alternate of Kang. He's good.
that we know of for now?
Help me do this, and I'll give you any single dimension you want, as long as you promise not to hurt anyone.
That's the one
From
the alternate dimension
yeah,
we saw in the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
So do they dimension hop and then come back as a collective to like home base or something?
Yeah, it seems like it.
It's good to see you, Mark.
I'm gonna go to my room.
Olga made dinner.
I already ate.
Liar.
You can't help him until you help yourself. I'm fine. Really, Olga, I'm fine.
It's like, bro, how do you even heal from that?
Dude, I don't know if you do.
Exactly. It's
Yeah, these Guardians suck.
You're slow, unprepared,
facts.
undisciplined.
Facts.
Takedowns take too long, and the public pays the price.
Facts.
Now, we've done an analysis of your last 15 engagements and narrowed it down to a failure of leadership.
Phew! Off the hook.
That's foul.
I'm still adjusting to my new body.
And I'm instituting a change.
Hey, what didn't this guy die? Oh, it was in the alternate universe. Yeah.
It's also obvious the team needs more muscle. Meat, bulletproof.
Hey.
Whoa.
I still want you on the team, Rudy. You good with that?
This was not the outcome I desired, but yes, of course, I understand.
Good man.
Oh, yeah, didn't they end up cloning Rex?
Bro, I'm gonna be so real. I'm
You don't
so
remember?
sorry to the audience watching. I don't remember.
I have to rewatch it, but I feel like they did because there was like a whole subplot about how he wasn't happy with his look and whatever.
Yeah, I do
So
remember
they put
that.
him in that ideal body, and I feel like the model was Rex, but I can't remember. Oh.
When was the last time you went out as Invincible?
Yesterday morning, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be my dad. What if that happens? What if I become him and I don't even know it?
You're not your dad, Mark. The whole world knows that.
Cecil doesn't.
So prove him wrong.
Mark, it's not a good...
I'll work for you. I'll follow orders. Just put me back out there.
Energy levels just went off the chart.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, this is interesting because technically what they're doing is for good. Well, that's what that guy says.
Looks like the craziest theme park ride ever. So these are the machines in 9 different universes connecting together?
Yep.
What the hell?
1,000 minds synchronized. Your throne.
This is how he takes over the world.
I'm gonna be dead real. This feels like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, he needed these 2 geniuses to build it for him. And
At these power levels, severe brain damage would be the least of your problems.
I understand. I'm ready.
He seems so calm.
it's a villain origin story.
Because having all the knowledge in the world, bro, that's gotta do something bad to you.
I am large. I contain multitude.
Oh, no. He's shook.
Invincible, you don't understand. Stop fighting and listen to me.
He's gonna mess it up.
No way he lives up to his name. He's definitely not invincible.
So funny because they're doing the opposite of the gag from last season. Oh my god.
Maulers, you were using other us's? You said we were special.
I'm so dead.
Oh my god. He's getting stomped.
There he goes, losing his teeth.
I won't build my utopia with blood.
Stop! There's too much power!
You'll kill us all!
Oh. Hey, man disintegrated. But he's invincible,
What
right?
the-
Bro.
Wow.
The only guy that could access different multiverses is dead.
Well, we don't know that.
Multiple versions of him, though.
He got super powerful, so I don't know. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he
Yeah, no,
survived
no,
the
no.
blast. I don't know. Maybe he did die.
Huh. I guess he really is. Invincible.
Oh my god.
Everyone here did this to themselves. And whatever they were planning, you stopped them. This is what happens when you follow my orders. We did good today. Do you understand me?
I'm fine.
What happened?
I'm working for Cecil now. I stopped the Maulers, but things exploded.
Some mail came for you. You first.
Oh.
Okay, same time.
Congratulations on being accepted to Upstate University, Miss Bennett. Miss Bennett, wait, this is yours.
What do you want it to say?
I wanted to say that we're going to college together.
I don't believe you. Okay, I believe you now.
He got rejected.
I got in.
Oh, he made it.
I guess I get to keep my superhero boyfriend after all.
How you gonna balance college and this, bro?
He's invincible, bro.
Classic superhero dilemma, right?
Yeah. The Spider-Man dynamic.
I don't know if you heard, but I'm working for Cecil now, so, you know, if you need some help or want to team up, just...
Or snuff him.
Cecil thinks you're on our side. I'm not so sure.
Oh.
I'll be watching you.
Nice. Oh, this guy survived. There's no way.
Maulers.
I told him not to take off the damn helmet.
Of course, the original one survived.
Yes. How are you even breathing?
Oh my god.
Bro. He's got like tumors.
That's like a brain.
What did he do to me? You did that to yourself, and this to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
see,
it was
that
the-
was
I ruined everything. Ah! He killed so many people I knew, people I loved. Millions died because of him.
That's true because they exploded on all the other dimensions.
Is
too,
this
right?
the original guy from...
No, I don't know if it's the original guy. It doesn't matter. I think, listen to what he said. He said, all your memories are scrambled. You don't know whose memories are what.
I need revenge.
Yeah, we knew it.
He's going after Invincible.
I won't rest until I've killed.
There it is. Yeah, I knew when they were like going back on the gag that they were going to end it with that because I was like, they have to do something.
Wow, yo. What a start. Sets up a season, I'd say, but I definitely think more things will get set up as the season develops, more storylines. But I just want to get Charlie, your overall thoughts from where we left off from season 2 and season 1. What do you think was done well in this episode that kept you engaged like season 1 did?
I mean, right off the bat, from the beginning, they catch you off guard because you're like, dude, is this a dream? Is this really happening because he teams up with his dad. They killing everybody and taking over, and he's sided with the Viltrum people. So they catch you off guard, very much like the first episode of the series in general, where it catches you off guard at the end. Right? Everything's like fine and dandy, whatever. Oh, this is a great superhero show, blah, blah, blah. And then the ending catches you off guard because Omni-Man goes on a rampage and kills all of the heroes.
Right.
So I feel like they did a similar thing here. They just flipped the order. They did it in the beginning. Just taking you aback a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back to the beginning of season 1, again, it's been a hot minute since I've seen it, but I remember the show insinuating very early on that Omni-Man killed like the majority of the Guardians.
Yes.
And it's the very first episode.
Right at the end of the
It's
first
at the end of
episode.
the episode he kills them.
And we're in shock, and we're like, what the heck are we watching? Like, where's this going to go?
Because up to then, it was like very basic, standard
exactly
superhero.
And what it feels like that the show is doing like a consistent theme of, yeah, right over there.
Yeah, there was a bug on my leg. I don't know what it was.
You scared?
I flicked it away.
The consistent theme that I've been seeing is that they throw you into this massive plot point that's huge and central to what's happening in this season, and then they take you away from it, and then they piece the puzzle, like the puzzle together as you go.
It's like they put you in the middle of like Act 2.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah. Act 2, like even going into Act 3 almost, it feels like, because what you see from that beginning sequence is like this entire thing that you don't know if it's a dream sequence, a nightmare, whatever. And then they introduce like this new character, which I forget the guy's name, the guy who opens portals and goes into different dimensions. They introduce that character in the beginning, and you start to feel like this isn't a dream sequence. Like what is the like purpose here? And then you start to question everything when they pull you out of it, because he's not waking up from a dream. He's not, waking up from a nightmare or anything like that. He just pulls out of back to the regular universe. And then they start to piece the little things together with that character introduction. So I think the show does a very good job of telling you almost kind of what's going to happen, but not giving you all the details so that you can piece it together along the way.
Yeah. I felt like there was many narratives that opened up with this show.
Yeah.
Specifically, the first one was the multiverse. And I know multiverse has been a very common occurrence in many films and many superhero movies that have IPs that have come out recently. You got Across the Spider-Verse, you got Loki, with the whole MCU.
Marvel in general.
DC did it with the Flash as well.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering from you guys, do you guys think this is a right direction to take, or are you guys more questioning it? In the sense of like, okay, we're seeing it everywhere. Why are you gonna do this?
Yeah, I'll say firstly, I have not read the comics, so this could be canon. Like this could be something very specific to the comics that just follows what's going on. If that's the case, fine. Even if it's not the case, I think it's fine to do this. And I what I'm seeing and I'm understanding is that this is kind of just a theme in comics and superheroes in general, that people like to play with this idea of multiverse. And why do they like to do that? Because it's not something that you really can conceptualize in real life. So it's escapism. It's a way to really like dive into that stuff. On the other hand, I do think in general, audiences are getting a little bit fatigued of multiverse type things. But from the initial point that I see here, I'm not going to say that the multiverse in here is overly simple, but they don't make so many of the details crucial to the story that you feel like you're lost so far in episode 1. That's how I'm feeling. Whether or not that's going to change, the comic book heads who are fans of Invincible might be able to, you might know different, and that's okay. Don't spoil, please, if you do know. But that's how I'm feeling right now. Is it didn't feel as taxing as like the Marvel's multiverse. Like the Marvel multiverse is like your head's jumping through hoops to make sure like you were following everything that's happening. This, it felt a lot more.
And isn't it crazy? You said audiences might be a bit fatigued of the multiverse stuff. It's crazy that that's kind of true and it's just the beginning of, like, this is just the introduction
Yes.
of that. You know, Marvel like literally just started this multiverse thing, and they're like the biggest, you know, IP that are doing this. Obviously, it's been in the comics before. I was reading a DC comic recently that's literally a whole multiversal war thing. I forget what the title is, but it's very, very common. My first impression of seeing it here, I was like, not again. This is getting kind of gimmicky that everyone's doing it at the same time. It's like that era back in like the 2010s or something where like everything was vampires.
Or zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just like Twilight, Vampire Diaries, blah, blah, blah. Like everything was
Teen Wolf.
that. And then, everything being zombies after that.
Yep. Walking Dead, Zombieland, all
right,
that stuff.
exactly. But the thing is, this show proved to me from season 1 that it can be very good, that it is very good, and so I trust their judgment to go this route. But obviously, we're gonna have to see how they do this whole thing. I do from the get go, like you said, it does seem like they didn't overcomplicate things. But who knows now? Because this guy has like a giant brain head thing, and God knows
1,000
what.
brains.
Yeah, God knows what his freaking abilities are.
I'll think one thing that I'll say too is it's something that Davi mentioned is the show does a very good job at developing these narratives and these different subplots of different characters and makes you care about them. And to me, what that says is that like while the multiverse and everything might be and the different dimensions might be a characteristic of the show, it's not going to be the main character of the show. And I feel like that has been the case in some of the other IPs that we've seen. But even in the first episode, like I mentioned, it's been 4 years for me since I've watched it. Some people might remember better than others. I feel like I haven't remembered that much, but they did a good job, even like with some of the side characters, like Robot, Rudy and his new body. And it's like you call back to, oh, this is what happened here. And they're still driving that plot line, right, of what's going on with Robot, what's going on with Rudy. And these are the things that I like about this show. They continue to develop these plot lines and these stories and make you care about characters like Robot, like Adam Eve, like the Immortal, like Rex, like all of them. And I think that's the mark of a very good show, regardless comic book or not.
Yes. And I mean, there is a lot of questions now from, you know, with the multiverse being introduced. And the one that I have is with Omni-Man, because we saw in the beginning, we saw Omni-Man and we saw a version of Mark with him, teaming up with him. Now, the question I have is that the Omni-Man that defeated Mark in the Invincible world that we know? Or is there different versions of Omni-Man?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Because he's was it Voltrum? Like
Viltrum.
a Viltrum? Like, is there only one versions of Viltrum? Because their goal is to go to different planets and conquer all of them and have control of them.
Yeah.
Right? So was Omni-Man was he given this task of going to every different version of planet Earth, or is there different versions of Omni-Man?
Yeah, I think this is the question at this point. My guess is that it would be the latter. There's different versions of Omni-Man. If you're bringing in a different multiverse from what we've seen, the guy has 1,000 versions of himself. The same would be true for every person that exists anywhere. That would be the simplest way to make it, I think, in my mind. But it remains to be seen, and it remains to be explained.
Yes.
And I hope that, it probably is a little bit of a complex, thing to wrap your head around the way it works in this world, but I hope that it doesn't become like the center of the heart of the show is my biggest thing.
Yeah.
In terms of like everyone now is so focused on the multiverse that like the characters and their plots and their storylines are kind of secondary.
I got you. I do agree that the characters will drive the plot of the show. This is just the environment that they're in now.
Yes.
Now they have to deal with it.
That's what it feels like.
And man, Mark, he is at, it's only been a month. The show addresses that to us, and whoa, he seems like he doesn't have a purpose, and he's trying to find that purpose again. Charlie, I want to start off with you. What has stood out to you from Mark's character in his emotions at this moment?
We mentioned, he was just going through the motions. He's very numb to everything. He's not really getting the same joy out of, saving people like he was before. And he wasn't struggling at all until that last fight, too. So, like, his abilities, he's progressed very much so. He's very competent, but he's not, like, I don't know, positive about it or not realizing it. In a way, he's kind of just doing everything, saving people in a perfect manner, but he's depressed at the same time. I think this ending here could, spark something different in him because he's getting a little bit more of a purpose, working for Cecil, getting into the same college as his girlfriend. So, like, the thing is, like, there's positive things now happening to him, but now he has a super crazy megamind villain who wants to come after him. So it's like, come on. When everything was like peaceful and calm, even though like obviously shitty things happened to you, he was depressed. And then now that he's happy, shitty things are going to happen to him again. So it's like, come on. You can never catch your break. You can't be a superhero and catch a break ever.
Ever. Yeah, I'll take it a step further. I don't feel like the problems that he had that we saw through the beginning of the episode are resolved through the end there. I think the biggest thing that he's grappling with, and we've seen through conversations, is am I my dad? Like, obviously I'm his kid. I have the same powers as him. Like, I have the blood from like the people of Viltrum, like all of that. So I have my powers to do good, but am I eventually destined to be evil? I think like that's the biggest question that he's like grappling with. And I think that's leading to a lot of his depression, just based on some of the themes that I saw there. Especially at the end there when he was talking to the Immortal, and the Immortal was coming to him. He's like, I don't know if you're on our side. Yeah. And it almost posed the question, and Mark was posing the question to himself. Like, I don't even know.
He doesn't even know, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, am I eventually going to be evil?
It's that thing too, like when you have bad parents and you're like, I don't want to be anything like my parents.
Yes.
Sort of thing.
But the problem with that is sometimes you spend so much energy trying not to be like your parents that you almost end up being like them anyway, because like you have this anger fuel about it that it causes you to do the wrong thing. And I think that's where he's kind of trying to toe the line. And also I think that he's like having a bit of like, is it worth it saving all these people? Or like, can I save everybody? Because my dad can cause so much destruction like that. And although Mark's abilities might be, better than they were at the beginning of season 1, again, this is a month after his whole thing with his dad. I don't think he's gotten any better. He lost to all those Maulers, which personally, if it was Omni-Man, I think he would have washed them. Yes. 100%. So I think he's still battling with this, like, oh, I'm invincible, but I'm nowhere at the level of like being able to even defeat my dad and save all these people from him. If he's out there, if he's able to return and do more. So I think he's grappling with those kind of two questions right now, and it's like kind of a lot spinning around his head. But then he has the normal moment of like, oh, I got into college, I can be with my girlfriend. And she probably doesn't even know like the half of the extent that's like running in his head.
No.
Which is a crazy setup for the season. I think it really develops the emotional depth of the character and where it can go from here.
Yes, that is true. Do you think, from Mark's perspective, do you think that he... Oh, shoot, I lost my question.
It's okay.
Shoot.
It's all good. It's fine. The question I was going to ask you guys now is like the dynamic between the Guardians and how things are changing with, the Immortal coming in, Bulletproof, like the new Guardians and Invincible. Where do you see that going? I feel like right now it's kind of like this hodgepodge group of like heroes thrown together from the aftermath of like everything that happened with Omni-Man. Do you think it's going to work? Do you think there's going to be kind of conflict there?
No, there was
What's the
already
growing
conflict.
There's already
Yeah.
Season 1, there was already conflict when they were putting that group together. And
Right.
then,
But not with the new additions.
no, not with the new additions, but still, it had conflict then. It'll have probably even more so conflict now because of Invincible being associated with Omni-Man altogether.
Mm.
He's a hero killer, and he's just a civilian killer as
Mhm.
well. So overall, like, I feel like they would give him a hard time about that, or say like he's non-deserving. But it'll be a mixed bag because there are people in the group that like truly care for him and want to see him get better and get through this. But there are also other people who are just haters and probably think that, you know, they're better than him. And
Yeah. One thing that I noticed in the way that Invincible was kind of dispatched to go like save the Maulers, it was like a very clear callback to how Omni-Man used to operate with the Guardians of the Globe. Like he's kind of rolling solo, and then the Guardians come in, and it's like whatever, or the vice versa, right? Like the Guardians are struggling, and then Omni-Man would come in, and that's I saw like that separation, even though Cecil is saying like they're kind of working, together, and I think that's very intentional. And a part of me feels like, is that where the Immortals like hesitancy is coming from? Of like, you're not in this group just like your dad was, and this is giving me flashbacks.
It's crazy at the beginning that he's already seeing signs of it.
Yes.
Even Cecil's assistant, I'm forgetting his name, but he was like, this is exactly like his dad. He called it out. He's like, he's the same thing. So it's wondering how maybe it's going to come down to Mark realizing that. I don't know. Maybe Mark needs to understand that it's not just him in a situation. There's others as well. I think he has to learn not to be selfish. But even though I don't think he understands the situation that is grappling with everyone, it's hard because he was put into it out of nowhere.
Yeah. Because I think that's the biggest thing with his dad too, is like he didn't really know how to work with other people, and like never really like extended that olive branch to be like, oh, now I'm working with the Guardians of the Globe. And I think that's one of the things that Mark, to overcome that hurdle of like not being like his dad, is going to need to work on. Is like, how do I connect with the people who are currently in the Guardians of the Globe, work together so that they can see me differently than they saw my dad.
And he has a friend, he has Eve, who is a superhero, who they've spoken a lot.
But she's not in the Globe?
No, she's not, no.
She
not.
left.
No.
So I think that's the piece. Like, people from the outside know him, but in group, like, all they see is a carbon copy
of Omni-Man.
Right?
Yeah. It's going to come down to him now. I think that's the only way I see it. It's him, and his actions will prove that he is different.
Right.
But I think this entire season is going to play with that narrative.
Yeah.
That narrative, like, you're exactly like your father.
Yeah. I'm super interested because, like, the Guardians storyline from season 1, a lot of it's coming back to me now, it was super separate from Mark. Like, Mark had his storyline, and then the new Guardians like had their storyline, and now it feels like they're gonna kind of intersect. So I'm curious how those character dynamics will play with Mark. Mark, he somewhat has an ego, but like he's somewhat kind of humble. He's not like his dad in the sense of like he thinks he's the best at everything, but like he clearly knows like he's the strongest out there.
The problem now is the fact that Cecil is basically bringing him in as his dad's replacement. So he's like the head guy, like the number one. That's going to be an ego.
Yeah, that's
problem.
the interesting part for me, because Cecil is talking about, I need to do things differently. He needs to be on a short leash, but then he dispatches him to go here by himself. Like, that didn't add up to me.
No.
And I don't know if someone will at some point confront Cecil and be like, bro, you are actually making the exact same mistakes that you made with Omni-Man. And maybe there's different mistakes that I'm not, either I don't remember or we haven't, gotten backstory of with that Cecil and Omni-Man had. But from what I can see, from super small sample size, like it's the same. It's the same kind of operation. One-man show.
Yeah, true.
But man, y'all, what a start to the season. We can't wait for episode 2. And just a heads up, we're going to be reacting to the entire season. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell, and like this video and comment your thoughts on this episode. We love you guys and see you soon for more Invincible Season 2. Stay beautiful, y'all.
Peace.